Are we on the internet?
If not, then I'm going the fuck home.
Me too. We are on the internet. Good evening and welcome to an all-new Talks Machina. My name is Brian W. Foster and I will be your host this evening. Tonight, we will be discussing Critical Role Campaign 2, Episode 19, The Gentleman's Path, with my guests, Travis Willingham.
No, Brian, look at the Matthew.
Oh, no.
They made him a pillow.
And Matthew Mercer.
Matt's a pillow.
Oh, no.
Look at his tiny legs.
Hit it, Chief. Good evening. We are back live on Twitch Alpha, many different websites.
Yes.
Welcome, esteemed panel of guests. Wow. Yeah, figure it out, man. Just get a little, get a good.
What's cotillion? You cross your ankle?
Cross your ankles.
Ladies, you like cross?
Cross your ankle.
Which one, right or left leg? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. Just cross your
I'm hearing it doesn't matter. Oh, wow. That looks.
This is hard to keep your knees together. It
I don't
hurts
think
my
I can
hips.
do that without hurting myself.
Welcome to being a lady.
Welcome to being a lady.
Just
Whole show,
spread the
I'm
whole
doing
thing.
Yeah, just do the full.
Yep.
I'm starting to shake already.
Well, we're going to get into discussing last week's episode, but first, announcements.
Yeah.
Can't even see my mouth. My mustache is growing so far past
Seriously,
it.
you're a
Soon
Muppet
it'll
right
just
now.
be like Cousin It talking
Yeah.
behind a wall of hair. Announcements. First up, we have a new website. It's
Yeah.
critroll.com. Critroll.com. Go there now if you want. There's event information on the website.
Mm-hmm.
There's all the latest news and announcements of stuff that's going on with us. You can usually get linked to go purchase tickets for different events and things like that on there. All the info you need about both of our wonderful shows.
Right there, all for you.
In one
all
place,
right there, all for
Magically.
you.
along with buffet
Critroll.com.
information.
Also, that was a creepy ass voice, by the way. Sound like the guy from,
Basically, Senok here.
yeah, he kind of, Infinity War, what's his name reminded me of him, the guy that's.
Yeah.
Why am I blanking on his name?
No.
Ebony Maw,
thank you.
My goodness.
One of my favorite characters in that movie.
Yes, incredible.
I was like, that's a good D&D villain right there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, they totally copied you. We should sue. Just kidding.
Let's take down Marvel.
Marvel. Guys, we have partnered with an awesome organization, friends of ours, called Stack Up.
Yes.
It's a nonprofit dedicated to helping veterans and those in active duty, which is amazing and something very close to most of our hearts, you know? All of our hearts,
All of
actually.
our hearts,
Yeah. Yeah, all of us. Stack Up is actually giving away these challenge coins created by creator Dan McGregor. We do not know if he is related to Conor McGregor, but I hope so.
Money probably says no.
As well as a special print by creator Amy King. I think, Chief, we have a picture of what the challenge coins look like.
Yeah, these are so cool.
Well, shit.
Yeah, you need them.
Those are pretty great. And then also there's a art print by creator Amy King that's
love it so
super
much.
dope. Pumat, not. Yeah, you can actually check out critroll.com for all the details. Travis, you've actually done some work with the Stack Up guys and hung out with them before,
Yeah,
right?
Steve Machuga, Shanghai 6 Steve. He's awesome. My brother was in the 82nd Airborne, so like I'm very passionate about veterans and supporting them while they're overseas and fighting for us over there, here, and also sort of their recovery efforts back home
Taking
once
care
they're
of them
getting
once they get back.
reacclimating into life. And Stack Up's been great. They work with I mean, they've worked with thousands of veterans at this point, and they're really good at bringing them out to events and making sure they see a good time. They come out and, you know.
You've met a bunch of them at E3.
That's right. Yeah, Comic-Con too as well.
And Comic-Con, yeah.
And they,
that's right.
you know, they love video games. They love tabletop games. Especially, we realize there are a lot of them that are watching our Critical Role campaigns and playing D&D.
We get a lot of people in military service all across the world that play their own games D&D and write us letters and send pictures of their groups playing the various bases. And
yeah, they'll be out at their
stuff,
fobs and doing their stuff, and you're just like, wow, you know, they're behind concrete bunkers and rolling dice.
Send us
which is
challenge
great.
coins. We like a collection of critter challenge coins.
I do have a healthy challenge coin collection.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Really great.
And it's really sweet. So the Memorial Day on Monday, they're going to have a Twitch stream, and they'll be, I think they're going to be donating some of the challenge coins and some of the art to people, like as they're doing a charity fundraiser that day on Memorial Day. Yeah.
The info for that is at critroll.com.
It is.
So we're super happy to partner with Stack Up for that because they're really good people.
Yeah, really good peeps.
I think regardless of anyone's political affiliations, I think one thing we can all agree on is this country does a poor job of taking care of veterans when they get back.
Indeed.
And so to see people like that are, you know, dedicating their lives to serving those people that are brave enough to fight for us, man, they have all the support from us and more. So
Yeah, they're heroes, each and every one.
yeah.
Of them.
Agreed.
Yep. Anyway, from heroes to whatever the fuck we're doing, our comic book, our hardcover comic book, which, you know, we are definitely impacting people's lives. You know, you guys for the better, mine for the worse. Vox Machina Origins hardcover will be on sale on May 31st.
Oh my gosh.
Through the Geek and Sundry online shop. Check out all the details at critroll.com. We had it last week. Liam held it in his hands and was showing it off. It is gorgeous. It's like, man, we've been able to, luckily enough, put out some pretty high quality books.
It's the green cover, the exclusive. Is
Yeah, that one's
good.
really nice.
Well, and have you mentioned like some of the extras that are in it?
I don't know, but if we, I think so.
Do that.
Yeah, do that.
Everybody knows.
So
Until
like,
Rachel comes in and starts yelling,
Right.
spill the beans,
I'll get
man.
yelled at for this, I'm sure, but like on top of just having a collection of the 6-issue arc, we also have a lot of sketches and like early layouts of art and design to show you kind of the process of development for the comic. And we also have profiles and information about a lot of the NPCs that show up in the game. We have stats for some of the creatures that show up in the story that you can incorporate into your home game, as well as a full map of the city of Stilben, which the campaign started in, which hasn't been available till recently. And
Is it like a single page or does it fold out of the book?
It's a double page in the middle of it, so you actually have a layout of the city of Stilben that was drawn by one of our fantastic critter artists, Kendra. So I worked with her, and we put together the map.
Kendra?
Yep.
I love Kendra.
So she made the awesome map, and it's in there as well. So it's got a lot of fun extras in there for you guys. It's got some magical items too that were in the story. So yeah, it's got some extra fun bits.
Heck yeah. And that comes out on May 31st, so go to the website. You can see details for it. Maybe pre-order, is that up yet? Maybe?
I don't know.
I don't either. But if it is, it's up there.
If it is,
I've been in
it's up
Canada.
there.
I don't know what's going on
I know.
anymore.
How was Canada, by the way? Did you have fun at the Calgary
It was
convention?
great.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I had a wonderful time meeting so many amazing critters. A lot of people were very patient. On Sunday, we had people lining up at like 4 a.m. for my signing, which was
my
crazy.
goodness.
I don't even know.
I wouldn't wake up for you till at least 6.
And I know, and I wouldn't expect anything more.
Travis, 10:30.
Yeah, come on. Let's be honest.
But yeah, no, it was incredible. Got to meet a lot of wonderful people. The panels were fantastic. A fantastic critter drag queen brought me out there.
I saw that. You went to the show?
Yeah, at Twisted Element. Went to an amazing drag show out there and danced, and it was so much fun. We had a great time that night. So,
That's awesome.
So Calgary really came out and welcomed me and had a
yeah.
wonderful time. So you guys were all amazing. Thank you.
Shout out the Calgary Critters.
Yep.
That was a hard one to say.
Why was that?
Cow critters?
Calgary
that one out.
Critters, man. Goodness. Pronunciation.
Got to leave that rubber cement alone before you start the show.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm
Looking for him.
Yeah.
sniffing it doesn't work anymore. I have to put it under my tongue now. The stream of many eyes. Apologies to anyone from Wizards that's watching for that segue. But the stream of many eyes. Ashley, Matt, Marisha, Sam, Travis, and Taliesin. Would have been easier to just say everybody but Liam. Will actually be participating in the stream of many eyes, which is a big 3-day special live event in LA, which is near where we are right now.
Yeah,
Obviously,
actually.
don't want to give away our exact location because of my warrants. The event starts on June 1st, and if you're in LA, you can check out the show live and in person. Come watch these guys play D&D. It's awesome.
Make fools of ourselves. You're playing and DMing.
I'm DMing Friday night for a little Force Grey game that takes place after the last Force Grey season, which will have some awesome guests and players there. And then on Sunday I'm playing. Yeah. I'm excited. I get to actually play in a game again. The rare occurrence.
I hope we get to play together again in the Honey Heist.
I hope so too.
You weren't there.
No, you
wasn't.
were gone.
Where were you?
No,
you guys
we were
at a con.
Yeah, we were in Australia.
Australia, that's
Yeah.
where you were?
That's where we were.
Yes.
Next time we'll get you in there. You get to be some bears.
I know. What bears weren't taken? Was there a red panda?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Calling it.
Boom, red panda confirmed.
That's pretty great.
Cute
actually.
and deadly as fuck.
I want you
Yes.
to be a red panda so bad.
Just like
I'm so
crap.
excited for this now. I'm
That's
so
gonna be
excited.
fun.
They'll just be scared as shit. That like that gif of the panda with the zoom.
Yeah. I'm sad we never got to the tier in the A26 giveaway where Sam was going to shave Talison's back on Twitch, but maybe next time. There's always next year.
We need to lower that amount.
If you guys want to know more info about the stream of Mini Eyes, go to dnd.wizards.com/SOME, some stream of Mini Eyes.
Yes.
Also, fantastic announcement. We have a Tox Machina Instagram account now. It's at Tox Machina on Instagram. I know we had Brittany there with you this weekend who shot a little bit of live video for the Instagram from one of your panels. We're going to do fun stuff like that from now on, behind the scenes stuff, Instagram Live, probably do little Q&A things, lots of stuff when we're actually at events together, and probably be a ton of stuff going on there during Gen Con and some of the other fun stuff we have planned.
Where you can find those sweet, sweet Foster nudes.
Get the Foster nudes on the Instagram. Now we're going to have 0 followers after the show. We're blocked by everybody.
-5.
Yep.
Is that possible?
And I think that's it. Anything else going on? Yeah, that's it, right?
I believe that is all.
Episode 20 this Thursday night.
It might be.
Yeah.
Without further ado, let us discuss episode 19 of Critical Role Campaign 2, The Gentleman's Path. As always, we begin with some Crit Roll stats about this episode that come to us from our friends at Crit Roll Stats. Woo! Last time we had 2 player characters fight each other in the main game was Campaign 1, Episode 99, Grog and Lionel. That's when John Heder, the actor, came and was a guest star. Yeah.
Man.
That was so great.
I got my ass handed to me.
I don't want to
You just rolled
spoil
so
anything.
badly the entire time.
Yep.
I don't want to spoil anything because I know there's a lot of people that are new and catching
Held
up
me
on
gently
Campaign
and I
1.
didn't like it.
His,
Forgot about that.
oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh my god.
His entrance and spoiling who he worked for was like the funniest. That was classic.
Yeah, as far as guests go, John Heater's brand of chaos was definitely a new flavor.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
The Mighty Nine has collectively earned over 6,250 gold in the 21 days since the campaign started. Yeah.
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 Wow.
I mean, split between each of you is about well under 1,000 gold, which is good money. That's why adventuring is a very dangerous but rewarding.
Lucrative.
Very lucrative.
I think I misentered the amount of platinum in my category. I might have to check with Crit Roll Stats. There was a point where like we got a platinum.
Back platinum, yeah.
Yeah, and I either I didn't divvy it up or I kept it all for myself because I was like, I got like 12 platinum.
You sold it for calf implants.
No, that's right. The one thing that Mask of Many Faces doesn't change.
Yeah,
Caps.
unfortunately.
There's no calves of many
I
faces
still got
spell.
these chicken legs.
Well, not to 4th level anyway.
Not till 4th level.
Yeah, 4th level spell slot for that one.
Speaking of, so you guys earned 6,250 gold. Now the party has given Pumat Soul 5,030 gold in the 12 days they've known him. 5,030
We've given
6,000.
Pumat 5,000.
I wonder how you
5,030
cleared out his
gold.
store, man.
Yeah, dude, the flask of many sips.
Listen, we focus in on one retailer, we go to town, all right? Relationships are everything.
No, it's
Yeah,
great.
man.
You know, brand loyalty is really important to the Pumat.
Mighty Nine supports their local mom and pop.
Yeah.
Or their local pop and pop and pop and pop and pop.
Just real happy to have their business.
Yes. And 650 gold of that 5,030 was for paper and ink.
Good Lord.
That's
Wizards, man.
Wizards, bro.
Yep.
All right, well, our first question comes from Cube is Horse. And it's for Matt. Okay. How's the Jester accent coming along? Cube is Horse.
Yeah.
Jester accent is just so good, Matthew.
Well, the problem is in the moment, I wasn't expecting to do it. And for some reason in my head, I thought that was more of a Russian as opposed to like a sort of Slavic.
Yeah.
And so I was on the wrong track for the accent, and by the time I realized it was already too late, so I just backed out. So like, I hope it comes along better the next time I'm forced to do it.
Yeah.
But now there's so much pressure on that moment that I'm kind of just never gonna try it again.
I don't want to read too much into Cube is Horse's question, but Laura will be taking some maternity leave at some point, and then you may have to use her voice every once in a while. So I feel like you've got a little bit of time to practice.
That's if Jester survives.
Wow.
I love the way you're thinking
I'm so
right
glad
now.
we're getting dinner after this. You are in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Plus
Now-
maternity leave, we're just going to have the baby, put it right on the table, and that's going to be our new mini.
Oh
Or our new
wow.
boss fight.
That too.
Yeah.
Dice tray even.
Yeah.
Just you. Yeah.
Just pelting your newborn with plastic.
Use the baby as the
geometrical
falcon.
dice.
Got to toughen them up right out the gate.
I
Yep.
love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just get a little warm water in the back
now
of the
I'm in
diaper.
trouble when we go to dinner. Like, I'm in trouble now, too. What did you say?
I was there, I heard it.
Yeah. Just rolling the dice on his stomach,
Yeah,
on his
on the
bare
belly.
belly. Oh, it's cocked in his belly button. Travis,
Before.
Katie Nicholson wants to know, rather than smashing in faces, you have now become the face of the party. What mindset do you put yourself in to maintain that position?
Well, Katie Nicholson,
Here we go.
there's a lot more patience involved and words, speaking words intelligently. There are times where I get slightly like stir crazy and I just want to go up and hit something, a la the old grog way.
Yeah.
But it really is. It's fun. It's hard because I have to be. I feel like Ford is polite, right, and uses charm, and tries to be like a little not subservient, I guess submissive.
Okay.
To higher powers and stuff in the way that he approaches things. So it's a stretch, but you can also feel, and we said this like in the early episodes, you can feel your mind sort of approaching a character in a new way and those neural networks starting to form and like how you approach things, and it gets a little easier as you go. But as far as like being the face, I kind of waffle with that. I saw a lot of comments about that. I, of course, didn't know what it meant right off the bat because, I think out of everybody, I know the least about D&D overall. I like to keep it that way because
Yeah.
everything's a surprise.
Yeah.
But
Travis once told me innocence is cute.
yep, that's a real quote that happened. No.
Yep.
I like to see the rest of the group, kind of have their opportunities to do things. So I'm trying not to be too much of like the talker all the time, because if I take Sam's low charisma rolls out of the equation, I'm not going to have any fun.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh man, all I took away from that was Ford is a submissive. Remind me to look that up on Tumblr
I'm
later.
sure Taliesin is making plans right now.
Please update the wiki appropriately.
Talison's in the back going, time to gather my party.
Right.
Matt, Tomorrowland wants to know, what would have happened if Ford/Travis wasn't as lucky as he was and lost the gamble with the gentleman?
Ooh, I wondered that too.
What would have happened?
If he had lost the gamble, he would have taken all the money, and would have been appreciative that they were ballsy enough to go ahead and throw that much money into the ring. He wasn't going like I win, I help you. If you lose,
You're mine.
or if you win, I help you. If you lose, I will kill you or whatever. He's just like, he was curious to see where it would go, and how brazen you were to gamble essentially the head of this underground group.
Okay.
So
He was happy that he had the moxie.
yeah, it was a test. It was him basically just feeling them out, seeing how they adjusted when confronting with him, to see how they held their own, how they listened, everything with him is very much a power dynamic game, and trying to read whoever he's talking with. That's how he got where he is today. So if it had lost, they would have lost a lot of money, and he would have been like, good job. So let's talk.
See, that was one of those moments where like Ford is very careful and patient and all those things, but I was like, fuck it. Like, fuck it, we're gonna go for it,
was
right?
great.
It's just the money.
Well, to be fair, like those are my favorite moments of D&D. Like, you can play the game super carefully all the time. You can totally do that. But I feel like it loses a special bit of its luster if you don't allow yourself every now and then to just throw in the towel and be like, yeah, Let's do it.
inconsistencies. Yeah, I think that's it was one of the first moments where I was like, I got to be a little more inconsistent with this stuff. Otherwise, it's just going to be like kind of, for me, like it was just getting a little.
Well, it's finding those character passions.
Yeah.
You know, as much as you build an even keel character, if you decide that you have certain triggers in your personality, you know, that allows you that opportunity when the moment comes to be like, no, this is where I kind of break my usual cool and get a little weird. I think that's great.
What happened to your new D&D character? Oh, he is someone's bitch.
Yeah.
Right away.
The Pact of the Bottom.
Oh, wow. Wow. A memoir.
Get the gift.
The memoir.
Pact of the Bottom, a memoir. Travis, distract me from writing that book in my mind with an answer to this question from
Write it.
Connor5678. Your voice change when you speak to your patron is a strong hint that Ford may be hiding the biggest backstory secrets of all. How do you feel seeing everyone else's dirty laundry as no one seems to be even remotely aware of Ford's hidden depths?
I love seeing everyone else's dirty laundry. I love it. I feel like I may have been, I might have been a little slow in pursuing some of the answers that Ford needs for his own personal story, and I think that I might change that going forward. He also is very careful, as we've said. I like seeing the way it's been evolving. I don't know how much his own backstory affects everybody else, but it's I love the way that Matt has been doing it.
Yeah.
Like at the most unexpected times.
Yeah.
And the fucking worst part about it is I know that as soon as I think I've got like an idea of how maybe the next moment will go, it'll change.
Yeah,
It'll totally change. There's no point in trying to adapt or predict or do any of those things because I just need to learn and consume and provoke and yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun watching everybody else do their things. And I love Liam's like shit eye because he's always like,
what's going on there? Yeah.
it's like, you're like, hold on for 1 second. Just give me a hot second. Jeez.
Yeah. How much fun are you having with the slow reveal of Ford's backstory?
It's great. I mean, here's the thing too. Like every story is going to have a different pace of unveiling based on the paths they choose, the choices they make, and what makes sense based on where they are geographically. You know, like with Mollymock, you know, I long before had set that he has members of whatever his history is are scattered throughout the empire. So based on where they go, they might encounter different members of his past. And so when they went down to the gentleman, I was like, well, yours is going to be the first to really kick off, I guess.
Whoa.
So yeah, it's been really fun. Some of it is engineered by the narrative flow as I feel is necessary, and some of it is a little more based on what you guys do. But yeah, I'm with yours in particular. It's a really fun narrative to unfurl because it's a little more complicated, I think, than some of the others.
Yeah.
Well, and just I don't know if Taliesin doesn't really know what happened before then, but it's a real treat not actually knowing like a majority of my backstory. Like I got a framework that most people don't have and items and things, but I don't know. People are like, just come clean. When are you going to tell us who your patron is? I was like, I possibly would if I knew.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, as a dungeon master, one of the greatest gifts a player can give you is freedom in their backstory. You know, I told people before, like when you make a character, you don't have to overdevelop it, but develop some of your history and leave some open spaces. Leave some mysteries as part of that so the dungeon master can take those threads and reveal them down the road. And you have the opportunity to not just invest your player more, but to surprise them.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, Taliesin did that with the Briarwoods in the last campaign. It led to a great story arc.
We talked about that the last time he was on the show, because that was a little unexpected for him too. And
totally.
But look at how great that turned out.
He dropped a seed, but didn't flesh it out and let me do the rest.
Wow.
And he only, and I think it's a great rule, only write what your character is aware of.
That's a great
Because
rule.
then a great scenario is a player character having a very firm idea of how things are, and then having it be revealed that it wasn't that the entire time, or it's very different than they anticipated. And it makes for good storytelling.
Yeah, it makes it super enticing too. Like even having the full orc out in the cottage, out in the woods or whatever, and like, I don't think Ford's ever seen like a full orc, much less in that area that close to like cities and stuff like that. Like when they went in the house, I was like, shit, take the horses over by the other horses, so maybe he'll see you as he comes out the house. And he like opened the door and they left and he just shut it. And I was like, damn it!
Yeah.
I gotta talk to that guy. I'll get him on the way back into town, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Ford just dodged him.
Oh God, I didn't know it was in the house.
I know. That's how
I
it works
didn't
out.
want to be meta about it. I was like, I'll go over to the horses. I missed it.
Couple of good questions about that
I'm
coming up,
excited for this when
actually.
they come.
Matt, Mars Milady. Mars Milady wants to know, Milady, why did you include the fight scene in the leaky tap, and how did you expect the players to react? Was it supposed to just be flavor?
It was just intended to be flavor. I wanted it to. I don't want you to ever think that every place in the game that you visit is always in the same state. You know, things happen and it lives and breathes. And so for me, I didn't want every time they enter the gentleman's lair to be just people sitting at tables drinking and talking. You know.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesdays, and
Yeah.
karaoke night.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah.
Casual Fridays.
Sacrifice Saturdays.
So for me, I was thinking about events that had happened recently. They've had like some failures under him, and some people were kind of put in the doghouse, and there'd probably be tensions in there. And then I thought these two characters just trying to basically getting out their frustrations by fighting as a cool way to change the dynamic and show that there are things happening outside of them. And they had the opportunity, if they wanted to, they could get involved, they can try and break it up, they could pick a side, or fight each other as soon as they finish. I was not expecting that.
That was awesome.
But that, once again, those things I love about D&D and role-playing games is when you throw in little bits of flavor like that without any expectations, and the players grab the threads you aren't expecting and run with it. And you're like, all right, let's see where this goes.
Yes. Yeah.
How about that 5th level inflict wounds though?
Oh my God, that was
shit.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
We were driving in the car. She's like, I have this thing called inflict wounds. It's pretty cool. I was like, oh, I can't wait for you to bust that out on something that it's worth busting it out on.
Yeah.
Boom.
And boom. Yep.
Jesus.
So good.
Thought we were sparring.
Yeah.
But I guess this is one way you can try out your new abilities after leveling on each other.
On a friend.
All else fails.
Yep. Matt, Lost Library wants to know, were you expecting the friendly fight between Bo and Jester? What were your thoughts as it was happening? We kind of covered
Yeah, I was not expecting it at all. But
Yeah.
I was excited when it happened because I love that inter-party chaos sometimes.
Yeah. The Grog Lionel fight was definitely entertaining, but this one was like, oh dang.
Yeah, that was a drop down.
This is like
Drop down,
a
drag
cleric
out.
versus a monk.
Yeah.
Well, it's great too, because
Well-
Laura's always like, she's like, I use my spells for healing so often. I want to break out some of the other ones, and she just took advantage and went for it.
Yeah.
And that's great too.
That's great.
And that's the thing too is and I'm talking to Laura about it, a little bit about it too. She doesn't feel too pigeonholed. You know, it's that choice. Either you hold on to your spells to heal, or offensively use your spells to prevent prolonged damage.
Right.
You know, because the longer it goes, it becomes a war of attrition
That
too.
spiritual
So like,
weapon did some boom.
yeah. So like, there are different ways you can take it. You know, if you front load with enough aggressive action, sometimes it could prevent enough damage where you have to heal down the road. But that's also a gamble. It's her choice. She needs to play the game that's fun for her.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if she's not having fun being a battery healer, then find a way to mix the play style to something that makes sense for you, where you can have fun. So
What an accommodating dungeon master.
Right?
My goodness.
Telling you what.
she's there to have fun.
Just like you are as a friend.
No.
Not at all. Travis, Zed3141 wants to know, Ford seemed hesitant about accepting both contracts from the gentleman. Does he think it's too much for the 9?
Yes. Outright yes. I was like, oh, we'll do one and then we'll come back and the second will be there. And then obviously when it was like pick one or the other and they're like, oh, we'll do both. I was like, what?
Yeah.
We're going to do both? Okay. I mean, I like it. I think there's a higher chance for failure, which is always more exciting and delicious. But I was only planning on doing one of those.
Hey, it's double the scratch, though, once it's over.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
They succeed.
And done intelligently. I think it's.
Didn't you get
it's
some money up
manageable.
front, too? Wasn't there like
$750.
$750?
Yeah.
Combined. Oh.
For both jobs?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. There
That'll
was
buy a lot of
definitely
paper and
some
ink.
It bought some.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Not some. Well, let's give away some free shit real fast.
Yeah, let's do it.
Each week, we like to feature unique creations by you, the critters, including those epic gift-making skills. It's Gift of the Week. It's not actually
I will
GIF.
fight you.
You're fired. If anybody wants to hire Maxwell James is a local Walmart greeter. He's underqualified. Our winner for episode 19 of Campaign 2 was sent in by Teleprari, aka at We've Come to Hug. Let's take a look. Stapled, not stapled.
The editing on that is great.
In front of him, not stapled to him. Bink! Ah! And then it hits Matt. Ah! Oh, God. That's pretty great.
Language is hard.
It is.
movie.
Are you
I know.
kidding me? Congrats to you, Teleprari. You have won this. How do you want to do this hoodie? Softest hoodie imaginable, alive. There it
size fits
is.
all.
There it is. No, it's not one size fits all.
If it's too big for you, it's a sleeping
Bam.
bag.
And, oh yeah, if it is too big for you, it still looks cute though.
that.
And you've won this Critical Role pendant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
What the fuck? It loves the jug in the back.
Apparently.
Cask.
You can submit your gifts for our
There it
weekly
is.
contest by emailing them to submit@talksmachina.com. Friendly reminder, when submitting, please send us either the actual GIF, a Giphy link, or a Google Drive link, etc., so we have it in high quality and we're able to use it on the show. Moving on,
Submit.
gentlemen.
Yeah, he's on the trigger.
He is. At least for the first half of the show. Matt, Kyle with an N, aka our friend Niall, wants to know, did you have any expectations as to whether the Mighty Nine would take the Lawmaster's offer or one of the gentleman's missions? Did you have any other story hooks prepared in case they wanted to skip town altogether?
I did actually. I probably had 4 or 5 different possibilities depending on where they went and asked around.
Fucking crazy.
Because I want, especially at this part of the campaign, I don't want to be guiding it too much. I want them to be able to choose their path and be kind of in charge of the directions they take. So I wanted to provide opportunities with both the brass of the city, opportunities with the gentlemen, opportunities with other allies in the city they may have come across. I don't want to specify because down the road, if they end up coming back and they're still applicable, maybe they can do those as well. Who knows? Or just go out on their own and pick a path in the city. And I was like, all right, well, wherever they go, we'll roll with it. So yeah, I had options, but I had no expectations about it.
Yeah.
I was more playing off of their already kind of mistrust of different avenues and seeing where they go. So
I found that the answer to asking Matt, did you have any contingencies planned, is usually always yes. Like, I feel like you think through, the avenues that the players are going to take and have at least something prepared, at least a seed or a skeleton of something.
I tried to,
prepared.
yeah, and not all of it is super fleshed out either. Some of
Yeah.
it's just, annotations and small little things that I can possibly pull in if I need to. This isn't like a beautiful mind scenario where I have everything ready to go. It's just having enough where I feel comfortable that I can pull from it if the players go in an unexpected direction.
Interesting.
It's kind of it's almost intimidating at times because it is so open sandbox that you're like, at least in video games, right? Like there's a little bit of like gamer's logic where you can feel like you're being led in one direction. You're like, oh, okay, but then it's just like, where do you want to go? I'm prepared for any eventuality. You're like, oh Jesus, I don't know. It's too much pressure.
And that in itself is something I've been learning too in playing this is trying to find that balance between open choice and and kind of narrative directions that you might want to go. Because if it's too open, sometimes players can feel lost and they don't know what to do, and it becomes less fun.
Multiple choice versus fill in the blank.
Yeah, and even this campaign, I've learned a lot. There's some things I probably would like to have done differently or could have done better in the past, but everything is a learning experience.
Yeah.
So as we continue, I'm finding that balance between dropping plot threads and an interesting possible paths and letting you guys just choose a direction. So
Interesting. This is making Travis so happy.
I am. I always love sitting next to Matt for this. I'm like, yes, what's the new dish?
Well, continue your excitement by answering this question from Bacon Queen Vern.
Ooh, yeah.
Is Ford relieved that he doesn't have to go back to the Menagerie Coast?
A little bit. Kind of. Somewhat. There's some unfinished business back there, and Ford doesn't quite know how to approach it yet. He's not sure if he's not sure if more time away will better prepare him for the things that he needs to do back where he came from, or if he's missing out on opportunities to resolve what has been left unresolved
Interesting.
with each passing, week and month. That's super vague, but that's just because we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Expertly danced around.
Thank you. Yeah. What tie my shoe?
Good job.
Yeah, that's great. Throwback question for Matt from Sarah Russell. What did you think when Ford devoured the sword? I think that's short for devoured.
Vord.
Kidding.
I had to look that up.
kidding.
I had to look it up. I didn't know what Vord was.
Did you mean for him?
Sorry.
Yeah, I went down
Did you
the
mean
dark
for him to
rabbit
take it
hole.
so literally?
I didn't actually, but I didn't. It was one of those things where, and I like setting up choices in the game that are open to interpretation, especially when it comes to powers that aren't fully understood.
Yeah.
Because then it lets the player choose more of the direction where it goes from there. And so for that, I was leaving it open. I thought in my head like that might be a possibility, but I don't know where it's going to go. There were many different ways he could have taken it or completely denied it and would have gone a different way.
Lots of different holes he could have taken it to.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of paths to choose.
Yeah, listen, it's like an ink block test, all right? I just like swallowing swords.
So yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was a somewhat possibility, and I was intrigued and excited that was the choice that he made.
I'll try something else next time, okay?
Yeah, whenever
I'm gonna
Matt
try
says,
something else.
Whenever Matt says, "I found that to be a bold character choice,"
I know. I'm
you
like,
know
what
that
the
he's
fuck, what were you
saying.
thinking?
No,
You know what he's
it was
really
some great
saying.
art,
No,
it
it was
great
good.
visual.
It was.
If outside of just the internet always fetishizing anything we do that can be
Yeah,
remotely
yeah.
put into that area, it made for a really cool visual and a really cool story.
The blood and all that. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
liked it.
deep throat.
God damn it.
Throat.
That J screws everything up.
It did.
Day runner.
Travis, try not to be confused by this username. Yo, what's up? I'm a question. That's what this username is. Yo, what up? I'm a question. They're getting quite literal now.
I love it.
Does Fagord regret setting the precedent that he is now expected to deep throat his weapon every time he gets a new one? Will this affect how readily he decides to pick up new weapons in the future? Ford, we have a mace of many spikes.
Just envision like finding this amazing weapon, and the first thing you do is go like, you know what? Here, you take this.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually that's Sam's job.
Yeah, Ford shrinks under the weight of performance expectations. So, No, listen. That was actually the first thing I asked Matt after the episode was I was like, was it open to interpretation? He goes, uh-huh. And I was like, right, so if there's like a mace, and he goes, okay.
There's one behind your shoulder there if you want to try it out.
No, I think I'm gonna let that go.
We brought the pike
yeah.
mace.
I don't know if I'll be trying it that same way.
Yeah.
Again.
The other direction.
Oh. Look both ways and be like,
Yep.
can you turn your giant eye real fast?
Yeah. And then he says back, "Can you cough?" Well, this one's for both of you. I'm going to change the subject quickly. Sarah Fedora wants to know, short for Fedora, Matt, was there anything actually in the Orc's house? And Travis, why didn't you go in the Orc's house?
Yeah. I'm not going to answer any more than that. They might go back. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we're totally going back. Yeah, I didn't know who was in the house, and so I did the I'll take the flank, and that way if somebody bolts out the back, I can catch him on the way out.
Yeah,
Right.
like you were
But
saying
by
with the
being
horses.
dead on the side, he didn't see me when he opened the front door or when he went out into the back. And so I really don't like to be meta in games. I think you're like robbing yourself of the pleasure of the frustration of going like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So I even gave into it a little bit, and like I said, I tried to go around to the front of the horses so that at least when he opened the door, he might see me. But I think it was one of those things where it was like you missed the opportunity just because of the circumstances of how you decided to approach that situation.
Yeah.
Which also means that if if was it who was it? It was Bo and who went in there?
It was Bo and Molly.
Bo and Molly.
Yeah. If they don't fucking say on the way back, oh look, there's that full orcs cottage.
I thought it was Yasha.
Was it Yasha and Molly?
It was
Yasha.
Yasha.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
If they don't say that a full-blooded orc was in that place, I can't go in there. That's why afterwards I was like, what was in the cottage? And they were like, oh, like a bunch of animal hides and shit. And I'm like, well, who was in there? And they were like, oh, it's just a guy selling. I'm like, fucking bitches, say it was an orc.
That's not enough. Yeah.
I need a little help here.
Love it.
So I'll have to figure it out. I need to tell me what's in there.
By the way, every time you guys say, oh, you're right, to Danny, I hear her whisper, of course I'm right.
Do you?
She's like, I know.
I got up there.
Yeah.
Question for both of you guys from Tomp115. What were your thoughts on the modern literature tactic by Not and Caleb, and what did you think of Jester's reaction to it?
I fucking loved it. Kind of brilliant to have something planned like modern literature where a squishy ass wizard goes down low and it's like, play dead, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Super
Yeah.
smart. Loved Laura's reaction. I thought it was like one of the funniest things of the whole episode.
Do you guys think they have a lot of names for different gags?
I think they did. They made a list of different things they developed as part of their backstory, which I love.
He was like flipping pages looking for it. Yeah.
They have a whole set of cons, which I love. And to me that was a prime example of the type of creative combat approach that I love to see in D&D games or any role-playing game. It's not everything has to be your abilities. Not everything has to be, whatever does the most damage. If you're creative enough and set up a scenario, sometimes it can give you a minor benefit. Sometimes it can change the course of a battle. Sometimes die rolls say one way or the other. And then sometimes your cleric doesn't know that it's part of a deal, and she starts freaking out.
Amazing happenstance that she was just next in the initiative order.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
That was just perfect.
It was a perfect series of events that led to an amazing moment, and that's a crystalline, example of the magic at the table. I absolutely loved it. And once again, a player could have been like, oh, I know he's dead, or like, I'm gonna do my turn anyway, but Laura totally bought into the moment and did what she did. And
I wouldn't know that that's what's happening.
And I love that. I love that
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, that's continuity, and it's like,
Yeah.
a bold character choice. Matt, that was so funny, dude. You have to be proud though, right?
Oh, very,
You have to be
extremely
so
proud.
proud of the ingenuity of that kind of a thing in a D&D game
Oh,
at
yeah.
this point. Yeah.
No,
I don't know how many they have. Have they showed you the list?
no, they haven't.
Okay.
I know it's there, but I almost want them to surprise me when they do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's
Yeah.
they're gonna have to start sharing some of them, otherwise we'll keep ruining them.
Yeah, well, you know modern literature now.
Yeah.
So if you hear that.
Everyone.
Actually, we don't.
Everyone but
Oh,
Jester.
yeah, that's right.
They haven't explained it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because she just healed
You
him.
probably
And
didn't hear him
he
call
healed
it out,
up.
right?
He healed up points and was like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't say what it was.
Mac, Jenny Hellum wants to know, when you had a party composed partially of goblins attack the Mighty Nine, were you angling or at least hoping for some not lore drop?
Not angling for. I wanted to show one that there is diversity in goblins outside of just the one troop that Not used to be part of. Also to give an opportunity for Not to perhaps be agitated by goblin kind, because she's spoken on it, but she hasn't actively had a moment to show that type of hatred. And so when she did, I was pleased about that. But yeah, those goblins, there are reasons why they were there.
Yeah.
None that came to light or were investigated fully. But who knows if any that'll come out. But yeah, anyway, that encounter had a minor purpose beyond just agitating Not's hatred of other goblins.
Will you tell me later what it was?
Sure.
Fantastic. Anything else?
No, not beyond that. I mean, I
Sounds like there was something that they could have gleaned if they were investigating it more, but I understand why they went to violence, because there was two giant...
Were they sent by anything, or were they just out there? You can tell. Nobody's watching
He's
this.
going to tell
It's
me
just us
later.
three.
You're not privileged to it.
just
Nobody's watching.
Danny, you're breaking the fourth wall.
Goodness.
But no, to a certain extent, everything you find in the world, you can glean information from that can help fill out the picture of things around you. Some of them are just informative. Some can play to future threads. Some of them can give you ideas of things bigger than what your current scope of interaction in the world is. So a lot of times when they investigate or make history checks or want to learn, like when Nott had said, like, do I recognize these goblins? You know, and I said no. If they had continued to look into possibly, you know, those creatures and elements about what they had on them, and they had a high history, possibly, they might have been able to discern where they came from.
Oh.
So it's like, you know, those are the type of things that players can inquire on in certain moments and hopefully learn more about the world.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's give away some more free shit. I know. Yeah. Our next giveaway is for you fans that create and send in incredible art from moments during the show. It's time for Fan Art of the Week. This week's fan art winner was sent in by Rebecca Snowden, aka @Banana Candy, though. Let's take a look.
Oh, yes.
Oh, damn.
That is,
I mean,
It's hard to
Yasha
tell in
is
this
so
one.
bae after this last
yeah, man,
episode.
those wings.
What a beast.
I want Ashley home all the time to
I
just
know,
play Yasha.
dude.
You
Oh,
and me both, brother.
I
Look at
know,
those
you more than
eyes.
anybody, man.
And the tips of her hair turning black?
Yeah,
I know,
What
that's
the fuck
cool.
is going on with that
That's
shit?
cool. When you guys may not know this, but I was privy to some of her character choices prior to the campaign starting online.
She talked to you about it?
A little bit. A little bit. And when she told me about that thing, I was like, oh shit. And then completely forgot about it until this week when that happened. So I was like, oh damn, I forgot that's part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Ooh.
Like she could have done that earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is she?
I think she's, yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything. Well, regarding the fan art, thanks to everyone who submitted. Congrats to you, Rebecca. You have won this Zeracoat tabletop dice tray from our friends at Wormwood.
I like that coloring on there.
It's
Dang.
really cool. I haven't actually seen this one before. I think that's how it's pronounced. If not, people on Twitter are gonna let me know.
Yeah, they will.
Make sure
Real
to check out
fast.
Wormwood on Twitter at Wormwood Gaming and on their website, wormwoodgaming.com. A reminder for those submitting, please include how you'd like to be credited if you win, which is your Twitter handle, your Tumblr, your Instagram, whatever. And a reminder that our giveaways are currently only available to people in the US and Canada, excluding the fine people of Quebec.
Sucks.
Moving on.
Not personal.
It's not personal. It's professional. Travis, Eclectic M. Sella wants to know, how does Ford feel about hearing more about Nott's backstory?
Hearing more about it?
Yeah. Now that there is a little bit extra dump.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you how excited I was because I feel like I picked up on the thing that the entire audience knew about 2 years before I did. I got all big with my reactions and everything, and people were like, "Oh, Travis finally getting them." I'm like, "Shut up! I'll get there when I get there. We get there when we get there." No, I loved it. I was kind of wondering what her motivations were for needing so much from Caleb, and what drove her to even like find him in the first place, or where she came from before this. And I love, especially from Ford's perspective, that she doesn't feel like she belongs, or that she was not representative of what goblins are normally known for, or that she doesn't fit into that mold, right? That she feels very misrepresented by that. I love that.
That was interesting.
Yeah. So Ford, from Ford's perspective, is very curious to like know more, and I would say has a massive, renowned sense of like empathy and compassion for Nott after that.
I have some theories.
Yeah.
I have some theories.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Ash and I were discussing them on the way home. I was like, I think, we've kind of lined up. I think hers is probably true, but if it is, I'll take credit for it myself.
Oh, good.
That's how things work. Matt, speaking of backstories, Wallbreaker wants to know, how have the players surprised you with handling and or coming out with their backstory, if at all?
I mean, they surprise me when they do.
Yeah.
I never intend really to set up a scenario where they have to reveal it, though occasionally I'll drop things to kick along the mystique. So like for Caleb, when Trent Icathan came into the game, I didn't know if that was going to be a time, but it could very well be a time that he reveals some of the story.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that much.
Yeah.
Because Kayla had been so protective up to that point. It was very much like nothing, all of it.
Yeah.
But that's how the stories work for some characters. Some characters, when they can't hold the dam back anymore, it's a complete deluge. Others, it's piecemeal.
Yeah.
Like Knott's has kind of been. Yasha's definitely playing a long game with hers. So it's like, each character has their own pace in which they reveal things, but they surprise me every time they decide to release a little bit, because there's never anything I'm expecting really, and I'm always excited in the moment to see how much they reveal, to see your guys' reactions, and to see how much the story's affecting them. As a dungeon master, there's no greater kind of pleasure than watching your players be invested in your world and be emotionally affected by the stories that they've wanted to tell or they've told together with you or you've presented them to be part of. So as soon as those quiet moments where each character has that little spotlight on them to tell a bit about themselves, I don't know, it's a wonderful little dessert for me.
Because it kind of brings everything full circle for you of what the experience is, right?
Yeah.
It's them taking charge of their own creativity with the game. And
Yeah, I'm building so much that I get excited when the players get to fully dig into this, to what they've built and added to this world.
Yeah.
That's the collaboration coming to light.
Yeah.
And so it excites me tremendously.
Yeah, that's the peak of the experience, right? Travis Chrome's Thoughties wants to know.
Chrome's what?
Chrome's Thoughties? I don't know, dog.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
How
that's
does Ford
Fireman
feel
reference.
about Nott and her insecurities, seeing as Ford is also uncomfortable with his half-orc heritage? Does he see her as a kindred spirit?
Yeah, very much so. There was a lot in what Nott was saying that made Ford, and even me, I was like nodding my head, and I kept wanting to like interject and let Nott know that like Ford, felt the same as she did and felt compassion. And then I was like, maybe shut up and let her do her thing right now. Just sit back for a second. There wasn't any need to maybe say more in that moment than what should have been said.
You can always talk to her later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it was one of those things that was like, I'll get you. We'll talk later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. Matt.
Yeah.
This is from Mong Ward.
Longwood.
It's been bothering me since the victory pit. There were some well-educated casters in the audience. Could any of them tell that the Mighty Nine was using unusual magic? Bloodhunter, Warlock, Traveler's Cleric, Aasimar.
I mean, there are diverse sources of magic and abilities in the Empire. I think at that distance, nobody was paying super close attention to like, why did Molly throw his hand up and something missed an attack? Nobody was like able to look at it from that minute detail to really ascertain that something strange is up. And it's so chaotic. I don't think anybody was interested to see who is radically different or could have even with what was being used. Because even with Jester's Worship of the Traveler, still generally using divine magic that is relatively common regardless of who you worship. So yeah, and even like the glowing scimitars could be magic weapons, who knows? Many adventurers have those. So there was nothing that I think that really exposed them in a way. They never got to that point. If anything really stood out, I probably would have made a mention of it, but they didn't do anything that really, I think, would have caught the attention. Not in what is supposed to be essentially a gladiatorial battle, where everyone's just excited to see the crimson and the violence, So not yet. Who knows in the future if they end up gathering interest based on choices made, but I don't think they did anything in those moments that necessarily put up a red flag.
Interesting.
Not like telling Master Trent Ickathon that you're from Jorhas.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was a
I was not
humdinger.
expecting that. I was like, oh, you just made yourself real interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is why you let them go and talk to dangerous people.
Yep.
Just to trap himself like that.
Heck yeah.
Okay, well, we're going with this thread
This
for a
could
little
have
bit,
gone
aren't we?
a lot of different ways, and we're going that way. Okay.
All right, we got time for a few more here. Travis, Cthulhu Gobrick. Cthulhu Legobrick? Cthulhu Lego Brick.
There you go.
Oh,
Nice.
This font is fuckeredly. Did you watch the scene Liam kicked you out for? How did you feel about it in retrospect?
Yes.
Because he had encouraged you guys to go back and watch it.
Yes, definitely. Well, we went out and it was like, like 5 minutes passed, and then like 10 minutes passed, and then at like the 15 or something minute mark, we like walked over to the TV and like there were emotions going on, and
had
they
the
were still
TVs
going.
on mute, so
yeah,
you
they were
guys
on
couldn't
mute.
hear what was
we can't
happening.
hear what happens outside.
We also
but
were shoving pizza into our faces.
Yeah, you can just like see gesticulating, and we were like, well, this is really, really serious. And so afterwards, we're like in a text thread, we were like, because you see like reactions in social media and stuff, and there was like important information that was divulged. So we were like, what? And he was like, it was cool, but I wish that you guys had been in there now because there was so much that was said, and I didn't plan on it being that way. So please go ahead and watch it so you have an idea of what's happening, because it was cool us leaving the room in a way, but also like we want to also be there to like know what we don't know. Right.
And enjoy that reveal.
That's right.
I think that's the thing too. You have, when you can trust your players enough to not, metagame the information enough to ruin, the narrative and the story, and you guys all play together and respect each other enough not to do that, then it's just a choice as to realizing that maybe it's more fun for everyone at the table to be present for it, and then just acknowledge their character doesn't have that knowledge.
That's right.
Plus it prevents the necessity down the road of him having to repeat verbatim all that information again to the other three, four players of the campaign.
Yeah, because it was just such a doozy. I was like, oh God, are we gonna have to do it all again? So I don't quite know how we'll do that. Plus, it's like, it's one of those things where if you ask if you ask once, you don't also want to be the player that's like driving the person on the thing that they won't tell you, right? So until like a story element presents itself where it might trigger a natural reaction to say like, hey, we never really talked about that thing, or you don't know when those are going to come back up again. So it might be a long time before that pops back up. But we all watched it just because we were like, we want to know what was happening, just because it seemed like such a big, impactful moment.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the show, it's experimentation. Liam asked it, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's give it a shot. And we tried it out, and while it wasn't a problem, we figured maybe just going forward, if we're going to have anybody leave, it would be just when I request it for the narrative.
Yeah.
And thus I can keep it pretty succinct and can make sure that nobody else feels left out, but also information that is supposed to be only known by that player or those players, I can control that flow.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So yeah, we tried it out, and it works in some regards, maybe not others. And
Matt's secretly a crazy control freak.
Yeah,
like, I can't do this.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no,
So
seriously.
the opposite.
Because whether it's backstory or like characters flirting, I want to be there for awkward reactions either way.
I know you do love.
Oh
I
my
know.
God.
I get bad FOMO, so I feel like my campaign is still in its early stages at our home game, and I play a Revenant, and no one in my group knows that still. No, they don't watch this show. They don't give a shit. They're all.
Your phone blows up. Mary's
Steve
like,
Bloom is sunbathing somewhere. Like
they're gonna get Twitter blasted now.
But so there ends up being a few whispers between my dungeon master and I, and they drives them nuts. But I get it, because I would be like, dude, I got FOMO, man.
It's fun to have secrets and hidden information, but in short bursts. When it's protracted like that, then it can be a little strange at the table, and some people can feel left out. It's not as just fun universally for the group. So, so when you can have that trust amongst your players that you won't metagame the information as a player, then there's no reason to exclude anybody from those moments. It's just more fun to be present, I think.
Yep.
And Liam picked up on that and like helmed it, and I was like, yeah, man, let's go ahead and correct that.
He's sensitive about knowing
sure that everyone's having a good time.
making sure everybody's having fun and stuff. Other than that, though, not a sensitive guy at all, I found.
Yeah,
Just
totally dead on the inside.
Dead, complete,
Cold soul.
iron heart.
Yeah.
Like, hello,
he
man.
will kick a cat.
Yeah. He will kick a cat.
Yeah.
Okay, we got time for a
reference. No?
yeah, I got it.
Okay.
We got time for a couple more. Matt, Brainblow X has a question for you.
I've had that cereal.
Now that
That cereal or that?
that combines two of my favorite things: brains and the letter X.
There you go. Good.
In light of recent reveals, what are your thoughts on traditionally all evil races in D&D? Is there a line you draw as a storyteller on this aspect?
Good question.
I feel that anything is capable of deep evil, and I think anything is capable of extreme good. I believe that
That's your worldview, or are you talking about D&D?
both.
Okay, yeah.
As far as like the living races and mortals.
Yeah.
There may even be a place where the most evil entities in the world, through long-term circumstances or a perfect alignment of things, could be redeemed, but probably never will. And I believe that environment and whatever forges this creature's life experience will inform the moral paths they take in life. And so I think there are classically evil races in D&D that might be majority evil based on the way that they were raised or the genetic and historical past that has forged them to this day. But there may be outliers that have escaped from that. There may be redemption stories within that place. I don't want things to be so clear, black and white.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So I don't believe that all orcs are evil. Like even in the Tal'Dorei campaign guide, there is the history of the orcs lends them definitely to like the brutal marauders in Tal'Dorei. But while that's how most of the orcs in Tal'Dorei may be, that isn't how they might be throughout the entire world. And I even mentioned like in there are some that are breaking the shackles of that historical past, and some others that there might be other mysteries in the world too.
Yeah.
Now I want to leave it open to interpretation. So I don't believe that there are particular races that are like 100% all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone you meet will be always evil, but there may be some that are more disposed towards that type of lifestyle based on how they were raised and how they were, crafted into who they are now.
So for you, evil is not a permanent characteristic in that regard.
I don't believe
It doesn't
so.
have to be.
I don't think it has to be, no.
Yeah.
Interesting that way.
Leaving more
it's
room
much more
for,
interesting, and it's much more realistic to me.
Yeah.
So I've known some really, really shitty people who have, upon confrontation and discussion, actively made effort and changed their whole life.
Okay, you can just say my name. I'm fucking sitting. Jesus Christ.
And then I've met
That court order is very
Yep.
specific.
God.
And then I've met people that I've put a lot of energy and effort into trying to help them course correct their life, and
But they
nothing
won't.
could be done.
Yeah.
And so like it can go either way.
I understand. Okay. Max wants us to wrap it up, which means we have time for one more question.
Yeah, stick it to Max.
Metzger Katie wants to know. Great answer, Matt. Thank you. Travis, this one's for you. What would be worse, a shopping or a library episode?
Oh my God. I didn't think there was any hell deeper or
Than
hotter than shopping until I went to
You
the
went to the
fucking library with Caleb. Holy shit. May I compliment you on your ability to recite at will
Yeah.
all of the shit that he was asking about and had the answers, but I didn't want any fucking of it. I was like,
Nope.
oh my God. I was allergic to them in real life. I'm allergic to them in the D&D world.
Yeah,
no
dude.
libraries.
Yep.
No.
Libraries, cats, off limits for you, buddy.
My God.
I think there's a fine line between having a character that is a seeker of lore and a character that forces the dungeon master to tell you everything that exists ever.
Yeah.
And because once again, it gets to a point where like the other players are having to sit through that moment. So we're discovering
I
the
was
balance.
riveted, Matt.
I've never had
I listened to every word.
But if
I'm
you
sure.
cut everything out of the game that bores Travis, there'd hardly be anything left except
I'm never
battle,
catering to this
battle and
motherfucker.
sex. Good.
like he gets to enjoy whatever he wants. We're playing the game how it gets played.
The
Pretty
attention
hard.
span
I'm
of an
pretty hard
ant.
to it, too.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, and there are a lot of players that love the lore drops and love the history, and there are those that don't. But that's fine. You find the balance because there are also going to be moments of the game that are more catered to you and the things that you enjoy, and vice versa. So it's give and take. And like I said, a lot of aspects of this campaign are us trying out new things and learning too.
Yeah.
I haven't had a character in a campaign in a long time that is actively trying to research and learn about anything they can about the world around them.
Yeah.
That puts a lot of responsibility on me as a dungeon master to prep in advance, or at least be
that
good at
lore
making shit up in the
prepared.
moment, and
Yeah.
then justifying it later as part of the world. But that's part of the.
You could always pull
so
a
we're doing now.
word and be like, you learn all of these interesting and intricate details ad nauseum.
yeah.
I've considered, and what I'm probably largely going to do is, if he continues to go to places to seek out deep information, is giving him kind of a Cliff's Notes overview, and maybe emailing him more detailed information later. That way he still has the information for his character to utilize, but that way I'm not dragging all of you guys through like a college lecture
Just ask him
on
to leave
stream.
the table.
Give him, yeah. Give him a flash,
idea.
like a flash speed reading spell. He's
That's
done.
true.
Oh.
That's true.
Boom.
Just like
Boom.
Johnny Five It.
Johnny 5, dude. Yeah.
That's great.
Into outer
That
space.
movie's older than a lot of you.
Hey, but that's a great film, though.
It's a great film.
Where did you get this mug? The sass is strong with this one. Now, most of the show, your finger was covering the S, so I thought it said the ass is strong with this one. And I said, we'll find out next time you get a sword.
Yeah, this is wrong with. You know where I got this?
Tell me immediately.
The cabinet.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. That means it's Max's. And that means you shouldn't have drank it. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, folks. We're going to call poison control. Stick around for Talks Machina Foams at the Mouth. I would like to... He didn't hear you because I'm talking too loud.
Oh, sorry.
I would like to hashtag thank my guest, courtesy this week of @PrinsCornelius. Backstory, Stalling Man.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's kind of
On
a dig.
brand. Ogres smell the worst, sir. That's pretty good, right?
It's all over now.
And I'm your host, Arsqueef's Soft Serve.
Oh, Jesus.
God.
Oh, no. That's fucked up.
I picked it because that one was too good. You are our beloved Arsqueef, Soft Serve.
Long may he reign.
Long may he reign. I'm not supposed to do that there. Critical Role Campaign 2, Episode 20 airs this week. Ooh, 48 hours from now. I'll be eating Cheetos in the lobby, watching with everyone else. Until then, and every week, please, please, please don't forget to love each other. And don't worry, it's almost Thursday. Stay turned, my friends.
Brown chicken, brown cow, brown chicken, brown cow.
We're live.
Yeah!
Excitement. We're live.
We're live on Alpha. All the stars of Critical Role are out tonight. Travis, Matt. Well, After Dark is where we take questions from the Alpha chat room.
Yes!
Do you guys know chat rooms are still big out there?
Alpha.
Yeah, chat.
They are. Our first question of the night is going to come from... I just scrolled up and lost it.
Did you?
Oh, Andy and D want to know, funniest or weirdest place you met or saw a critter? Travis tackled one on the side of the street one day. We remember that story.
Holy shit, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's mine. That's mine.
Funniest or weirdest place you've encountered a critter? We went to Bath and Body Works one time in the mall, and both Ash and I just looked like homeless. It was like around Christmas. We just went in to get candles because I smell so bad, and this guy was like, "Oh, I love Critical Role, Talks Machina and stuff," and I was like, "Oh man, he must think."
It's just schlubbing out.
We just like shut up meth between our toes and watched cops for 48 hours straight.
It's the worst when you're super schlubby. There's a Target by our place, and there's a Starbucks inside of it, and I was like pushing around like, big thing of toilet paper and a bunch of like non-awesome groceries, and I'm like walking out, and I'm like, yeah, Starbucks sounds good. And I was like, hey man, can I get an iced caramel macchiato? And he was like, would you like to rage with that? And I was like,
That's amazing.
shit.
Yeah.
That's great.
I was like, this toilet paper's not for me, man.
Yeah.
Like,
What are
sporting
options?
goods
Groceries.
and like hiking supplies.
Knives, just a lot of knives.
Yeah, a lot of knives.
Need a lot of knives.
Electronics, all cool.
I will say, me and Marisha have come to realize that over the course of the past year, we have 4 critters at our local Ralph's.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that would.
What?
I
That,
met one at a Ralph's yesterday.
oh really?
did?
Did you?
That,
That's cool.
It's really wild, and because it's our local Ralph's, we usually go there when we're super schlubby.
Yeah.
And like unwashed, and just going to pick up like coffee creamer or toilet paper, and then my pajamas. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
The mornings suck, and it's like, excuse me, are you Matt Mercer? I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
I used to be.
all the grease. You're like,
Can I get a picture? Okay.
boy,
Yeah, they've all been really, really sweet.
They're always
shaking a hug goes
sweet.
a lot further, friend. What do you think?
Yeah,
They're always sweet. It's us that's a mess.
I know,
It feels
we're always busted.
we joke sometimes. It feels like Nerd Fight Club because like people who wouldn't
Yeah.
expect their critters in different places.
Yeah.
Like I remember we went through TSA from a convention last year,
no.
and as we're going through the TSA checkpoint, this guy turns to Sam and goes like, "Right this way, Scanlon Shorthold."
No
And
way.
we're like, "What?" That was the same TSA that
Yep.
a critter had given Taliesin a
gun.
metallic pepper box, as a gift replica.
yeah.
It was not
Yeah.
functional. It was like solid metal, but he forgot to check his bag.
Yeah.
And they found it at the checkpoint, and
What is this?
yeah, it was like, sir, we need to check your bag there.
And the other guy was like, "This is Percival DeRollo.
Basically-
Let him pass.
Well, the
wish.
guy said like,
He's protecting all of us."
he said, well, of course, Percy, you would have this in your bag. And Taliesin was like,
Yeah.
what? And he's like,
Yeah.
and I wish I didn't have to, but I have to write this up. I'm so sorry.
You know that guy kept it.
Oh, I'm sure,
He
probably.
kept
He got it back. He was there for a while, though.
Yeah.
I had to like check it, make sure it was not firing.
Yeah.
I'm like, who has a pepper box? Come on.
Yeah.
I did meet, we had a critter, Felicia, that invited me to the drag show at Calgary this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But the drag king who was hosting the whole event also was a critter.
No
and
way.
didn't Felicia and they didn't know that the other was a fan of the show until I showed up.
Awesome.
And so it was like making unexpected critter connections there in the middle of
Okay,
the club.
now
It
I
was
want to go to
great.
the two of theirs viewing party.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's like you never know. Like so many different walks of life and so many different people from different parts of the world all secretly have watched this or other streaming shows.
Yeah.
And places we never expect we keep meeting critters. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing, but it's also like, I gotta put a bunch of makeup on when I leave the house now, and like, you know what I mean? I just
You got to get rid of those baggies underneath
Yeah,
your
dude,
eyes.
I gotta put cucumbers on my
Postmates everything.
eyelids or whatever. Matt,
Yes.
RPJK wants to know, how do you determine the price of the items in your magic shops?
It's a combination of the suggested listing they have in the Dungeon Master's Guide, which is usually like, a common magical item will cost 50 gold. An uncommon magical item will cost, 250. A rare item might cost, 500 to 5,000. Like they have ranges in there. And so what I do is based on the ranges that are provided and my personal opinion of the power level of the item and how useful it is, I'll choose arbitrarily a price within that range.
Okay.
Because like I'll have like three uncommon magical items side by side, and you can clearly see that some are more powerful and more useful than others.
Yeah.
I'll give a scale of prices within there. So yeah, it's not like there's a secret formula I do. I just try and work within the suggested price ranges in the DMG, and then choose within those ranges.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Makes sense.
Yay!
I think you're just shouting out numbers, but I believe.
I try to do that as much as possible because it'll always come back
How
to
much
bite
is
me.
that rare cloak of protection? 4. For what?
For for numbers.
4.
4 things you choose.
4 raccoon skins.
How
This
are we
is,
gonna find raccoons in this world?
I know. Well,
I'm gonna talk to that orc.
raccoons. Oh, you can talk to that orc. Low blow, Mercer.
Sorry.
Shadowstorm Zero has a very interesting question for both of you. Have you dreamed in character or in world yet since the campaign started?
I have not, but I didn't as Grog either. I think some of the other players have, but I
a lot of
haven't.
them have.
I barely remember my dreams too. I'm like one of those weird people that's like, I have 4 seconds after I wake up where I was like, I had a dream. And by the time it takes me to walk to the bathroom and brush my teeth, I'm like, I didn't dream last night.
It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just erases your hard drive.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't, nothing sticks.
That's why they say that Travis's mind is a blank slate.
Yeah.
Is that-
a thing?
Some people on Reddit, yeah, just not my quote,
Yeah.
but how about you, Matt?
I've had quite a few actually. Fairly vivid ones.
But you're probably living and breathing the world and the lore a little bit more throughout the week than everybody else is
How
because
often do you dream of Fajordi, Matt, be honest?
shoving,
Standing over you, dripping
shoving
in
a mace
seawater.
up his asshole.
Falchion gleaming in the
Honestly.
surf. Yes.
Do you need help with that, sir?
Oh no! Stop it! Oh, jeez.
No, it's interesting. I've not dreamt as like a character,
It's just boring.
because there's a lot of NPCs and stuff, but I've dreamt as myself in the world.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of dreams just wandering around in Whitestone, like in the autumn. I've had dreams. It's really kind of wild, and like I'll feel very kind of warm and fuzzy after waking up when I have them. I did have one dream that was placed in the Age of Arcanum that kind of heavily informed my ideas and designs of what certain locations there looked like.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't happen all the time, but every now and then
Yeah.
I've had a number of them.
Wow. I just have dreams where I'm walking through a trailer park in Pahrump, Nevada with a metal detector trying to find scrap.
Pahrump, Nevada. What the fuck?
That's about all that I end up
And yet they're not dreams at all, but past
yet,
life experiences.
I wake up sunburned. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. One of those arrest records is from Pahrump.
It's one of those statute of limitations.
I wake up and I'm 17 again with a metal detector
Yep.
and a flavor saver.
Yep. Oh man, don't bring up the flavor saver. Travis Letath wants to know, in a barroom brawl, which Mighty Nine member would Ford want to fight?
Caleb,
Why?
just because I would
Magic
think that
on
would
magic?
be. Yeah. Or
Man on man?
Yasha.
Or Yasha?
Yeah, I think either like maybe the one that would be the easiest in a melee fight to best, which is not saying much, just cause, and also just to have his ass kicked.
Wouldn't Bo be the best in a melee fight?
Oh, that's that's
I
true.
mean,
Monks are.
Yasha has
yeah.
the raging abilities,
They're pretty
but
nasty.
monks are pretty nasty up close. as
Yasha's
we
just
saw.
physically imposing.
What are you laughing at, Max? You dumbass. You don't like our answer? What we're talking
Strike
about?
would fuck you.
That's true.
What would?
That's true. The monk.
I mean,
yeah.
The monk?
stunning strikes you just got. That's when monks start getting real,
Yeah,
real
yeah.
nasty.
Yeah, real gross. If it was just melee, like unarmed.
Unarmed, nobody should fight Bo.
Yeah,
that's just a
of
bad
course.
idea.
Yeah.
Yasha being interesting. Like I don't know who'd win because with their armor of Agathis, considering even Yasha, her
I'd
rage
have to
doesn't.
buff the hell out of it. Yeah.
But
big
like
time.
Yasha's, rage doesn't stop cold damage.
That's true. That's true.
And if you've hexed her, that cold damage she takes would also
Or
be an additional
necrotic.
1d6
Right.
necrotic.
That's right. That's right.
That's the cool thing too. When you hex something and it hits you with the armor, it still takes the 1d6.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. I'll double check real fast before the internet shoots me with like 18 texts going, actually,
Yeah, before you start getting
Yeah, hex is
emails.
1d6.
it's 1d6 necrotic, but I'm going to see if it's an attack or if it deals damage too. Just reconfirming, because I can't remember.
On an attack.
When you deal whenever you hit it with an attack.
Oh.
Yeah, it
But I
could-
wonder if
doesn't have to
Armor
be
of
melee.
Agathis would be considered an attack, because it is a spell that's attacking something. Continue. I'll look this up.
Well, this
Oh,
one's
that
interesting. We'll answer this while you're looking that up from Disappointing Cake. I'm watching the show while enjoying my chili ranch nachos. What's your favorite bad decision snack?
Oh wow! I have to like think for a second.
I have a lot.
Props on the chili ranch nachos.
Those sound delicious.
That sounds fucking
I want to
amazing
go get some
right
of that
now.
right now.
Right now we are in shaved ice heaven.
Shaved
We're on
ice,
this kick.
dude.
It's got like a dollop of vanilla ice cream in the shaved ice with like 3 different syrup pumps.
The condensed milk on top
It's so good.
of the cone of. Yeah, I like that. Man, Cheeto Puffs are like my favorite thing in the world.
Anything that gives you like residual
anything
MSG
that
on your
leaves your
fingertips.
fingers
Yeah,
a nightmare.
yeah, for a crime scene.
I like.
Totally. Oreos and dipped in peanut butter.
Oh, fuck
With a
yeah,
glass of
bro.
milk?
Hell yeah.
Booyakasha.
Do you know what I really like? Animal crackers dipped in cake frosting. You get animal crackers. I'm outing a little bit of
I'm
my
gonna eat
history
Matt's
here.
foot in about
But
5
you get,
seconds.
You get,
Salsa, so
you
good.
get like the plain animal crackers, not the ones that are covered in the frosting
Right.
already, like the
Not the pink ones.
circus animal
Yeah, yeah.
ones. Yeah, no, just like the regular tan. You get them at like Trader Joe's and shit. You stop. What? You dip those in cake frosting, chocolate, vanilla with the little jujubes
The
inside.
little tub of cake frosting?
Yeah, bro. You just dip that shit in there. You're watching live PD, you know. You're just like going in there. That's the best.
And live PD coming up in the world.
I'm having a hard time finding any sort of
That's okay. Well,
confirmation
let's
on the
try
web.
this another question.
So
I don't know if that would.
I think it would.
I think it's like an intentional attack, right? Because armor is like
you
a defensive.
you would think, but it's still an attack. It's still the armor, like hurting whoever hits them.
I'll leave it
so
to your
like,
discretion.
Yeah,
I'll remind you of it when it
I'll
happens.
research more and then make my decision.
Fair enough.
By that I mean I'll probably like message Jeremy Crawford at D&D.
Yeah.
Hey man.
Question. Yeah.
Excuse me.
You up?
Yeah. Legitimately.
Lots of people at D&D get you up text from Matt.
Yeah. Sorry,
Wednesday at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Matt, Potatoes Rule wants to know.
Yes.
Nobody could identify that roadside jerky Molly and Yasha bought. Was it made of people?
Oh, from
Was it
From
made
New York?
of people, Matt?
Uh-huh.
I hope it was not made of people. Oh no, I would be so disappointed.
Oh, this is the answer when Laura's gone.
Yes, I will be Jester.
Well, I mean, now we know. You're locked in.
I know, she's like, no, I'm in real trouble.
Yeah. I don't know. They couldn't identify it. They don't know what it is.
Yeah, interesting.
Really?
Ooh,
Yeah, they don't
some
know.
horse meat, some horse jerky.
Did they eat it?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So maybe they've also tasted baby.
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna end on a completely true story.
Okay.
I swear to you, this is true.
Oh God.
When I was in junior high, I played hockey.
Right.
Played hockey for like 5 years. And when I was in junior high, I was at hockey practice, and we were outside on the concrete on inline skates, as they say, back in the day.
I remember that.
And this kid who always bullied me is this big kid named Kenny. They're always named fucking Kenny. I'm just kidding to any Kennys out there. But and he skated up behind me and just sticked me in the back, and I fell down and I got this huge scab down my arm right here, my forearm. Week or so later, we went to the same school as well. So a week or so later, we're out there, and the scab had just gotten like pretty crazy. And I'm sitting there with my best friend Dustin, and I'm just picking at the scab all day. He's like, "Stop picking at it. What are you doing?" I was like, "There's a method to my madness." And this kid Kenny he was something else. Anyway, he was a metal detector in a Perump trailer park. He always ate beef jerky, and it drove all of us nuts. And he had this like shitty beef jerky, and I peeled off my scab and I put it in his Ziploc beef jerky. And we literally watched him take 2 bites of his jerky and get the most like what? Like expired, like look on his face, like whatever. And I walked over to him and I pulled up my fucking sleeve, and just like pink and a little bit bloody was the remains of my scab, and I was like, "That's for fucking pushing me down last week, bro."
Oh my God.
Brian, you may
I
be
was in like 7th grade.
you may be my favorite supervillain.
Oh my God. That is ice
Whenever
gold.
for the last 20 something years, whenever I see the words beef jerky or I see a tub of beef jerky at the gas station, I always think about putting my fucking scab in Kenny's little Ziploc and paying that motherfucker back for bullying the shit out of me.
Brilliant.
That's what you do if you're bullied. You get creative and possibly
God.
give someone tuberculosis in the process.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yep. If I could remember his last name, I would literally say it right now, but that's okay. Well, guys, that's all the time Max has for this nonsense. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for submitting questions. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, crew. We love you guys. We'll see you Thursday night, 7 p.m. Pacific for episode 20.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aloha.